All right, let's dive into the world of work. Today, we're breaking down the essential balancing act that defines every single job in South Africa, what you owe your employer and what they owe you.
So think about your job for a minute. I'm not talking about your to-do list or who makes the coffee. I mean, what are the real rules? The ones that hold the whole thing together, way beyond just the company handbook. And that's the heart of it, right there. The best way to think about your job is as a relationship. It's like a scale, a balancing act. On one side, you have rights, and on the other, you have responsibilities. And for it to work, they have to be in perfect balance. So let's start with one side of that scale, the employer. What are they entitled to, and what do they absolutely have to do in return? Now, look at this. It's fascinating, isn't it? Every single right on the left has a direct counterweight on the right. So yeah, an employer has the right to manage the business and expect you to perform. But, and it's a big but, they are obligated to pay you on time. They have the right to discipline an employee, sure, but they are legally bound to follow fair procedures while doing it. It's a perfect mirror image. And this quote just nails the point perfectly. Even one of the biggest powers an employer has, the power to dismiss someone, is not absolute. Not even close. It comes with that massive string attached, following due process. Think about it like this. Say someone is always late. The boss can't just say, "You're fired." No way. The LRA says they have to follow a fair process. Verbal warnings, written warnings, a proper hearing where the employee gets to tell their side of the story. That's the balance in action.
Okay, so let's tip the scales over to the other side. Now we're talking about the employee. We're talking about you. Your rights and your responsibilities are just as critical for keeping everything balanced. And you see that same exact mirroring effect happening here. You have the right to get paid for the work you do. Your obligation to actually do your duties honestly and do them well. You have a right to a safe workplace, but you also have an obligation to follow the safety rules. It all connects. Your right to be protected from being fired unfairly is balanced by your duty to be a respectful and disciplined team member. It really is a two-way street, you know? Your rights aren't just handed to you on a silver platter. They exist as part of a deal, a pact, where you also agree to act in good faith and do your part. That mutual trust is what makes the whole system tick. So you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but is it just a suggestion? Absolutely not. This whole balancing act isn't just a nice idea. It is written down, locked in, and enforced by the laws of the land. This is the official rule book. And that's all South African labor law is when you boil it down. It's the set of rules that make sure this relationship we're talking about stays fair, stays safe, and, is actually productive for everybody involved. And this rulebook basically stands on four massive pillars. You've got the LRA, which is kind of the master guide for the whole relationship. Then there's the BCEA, which sets the absolute minimums for things like your pay and your leave. After that is the EEA, which is like the fairness police, making sure there's no discrimination. And finally, you have OSHA, which is all about making sure you go home in one piece. These four acts are the whole shebang. Okay, so we've looked at the scales, we've flipped through the rule book, but let's get down to it. Why does any of this actually matter in the real world? Because when that scale is balanced, everything just works better. You get a workplace where people actually respect each other. You get a place that's safe, where everyone knows what's expected of them. And here's the kicker. Both sides are legally protected. And all of that leads to a business that's stable and can actually get things done. It's a win-win. And if there's one thing you take away today, let it be this. Knowing these rules isn't just for HR people or lawyers. Knowing this stuff gives you power. Whether you're about to sign your very first job contract or you're the one in charge of a whole team, understanding this balance helps you move forward with confidence. So, I'll leave you with a question to think about. Now that you see the full picture, the rights, the responsibilities, the whole balancing act, take a good, hard look at your own job. Is your workplace in balance?